all, this is Zimnala coming at you with another adventure in my game showcase series. Today we're going to be checking out a little game that I found that was called Total Incremental War, which is basically a demo game made on itch.io for a project, I guess, and it seemed interesting, so we're going to check it out. It is free to play there if you are interested. It also has a standalone download that you can play. It seems like it had enough features to dig into and check out, and they said if it's popular enough, it will actually probably be developed into a full Steam game. So if you like what you see, feel free to go ahead and support that. That would be pretty cool, and I'm sure they'd appreciate it. But yeah, we're going to get on into this. We're going to play it for an hour and see what we can think of it. So yeah, let's head on in. So we start off with a dude here in the night. And I know you can move people around. I don't know how that works. We can look around and this. You can switch to this to look around. Mute sound with this. I think there's a whole sound settings thing you can get into. I don't know if it auto-saves. It might. Let's see. It doesn't tell me if it does, so we'll just save regularly just to make sure. So we have an army of one. We have two settings, that and honor. So we got so you unlock mechanics at different stages, and it tells you that. We can't check out world. And you unlock a new unit at 10, it looks like. So if we look at this, it'll tell us what count it has and how heavy they are and what range they can attack at. The attack, the health. I think this is movement speed and how big the unit size is, which I'm not sure what that means, but we'll get on in. So this is an estimation of our battle powers and stuff, so let's just start it up and see how this goes. I think we're going to win that one. So we can choose to move on to the next stage, or we can fight here. I guess we leveled up so we get more choices in here, so we can recruit with this. Does it cost money to recruit more? It doesn't cost more to recruit more. Don't know how we move them around. It's like we can select, I guess. Maybe that's a mechanic that we get later. It's like right click lets me like kind of move it around like this. Left click kind of lets me do a few things, but I don't know like how it intersects with stuff. We can also level up our army and we can see what changes. If we get that, we get about 10% more of this. And a little bit more health. The other stats didn't change though. So we'll go ahead and see how this goes. Yeah, so we increased the size of our army so we can get more. So fortunately, recruiting more doesn't actually cost resources. I did set some of the sound settings a little lower, but I can't fully hear them, so I guess I'll raise those. The music was really loud though, and there was no way to tell the sound settings of the other ones right away. But yeah, we can level up our knights. But yeah, it looks like to be about a 10% increase each time, which isn't too shabby. So we should... Moving up to a new mechanic, it says. Auto battle. Oh. That's the first mechanic. Okay. So I guess that would mean it would just keep fighting until we tell it to move on. That's interesting. And it looks like they don't join in until the next battle. Like, so changes we do don't take place until the next time. And if we want to change to... Oh, does it automatically try the hardest battle? Interesting. Okay. Oh, we can zoom in and out. Oh, interesting. Oh, now we can move. Alright. Okay. So let's consider moving things around. Like, we are getting a little bit manhandled. So now this is when tactics can start mattering, when we can move, you know? Okay, so first of all, we could probably increase the size of our army. That's one thing that matters. We could definitely level up a couple of times. That might also make a difference. So it's saying we can move. Oh, this is a whole army unit. So here's the thing that's interesting, is I don't think there's an advantage to letting these guys match up, so... It doesn't give me quite as much customization as I was hoping. Like, I was hoping we could change the shape of this, not just being a block, you know? Okay. So 25 is the next mechanic. So at 10 we're gonna get something, a new unit, I think. I wanted to save some army size to get that involved, so I want to see what happens after this stage. I want to see what this new mechanic has going on with it. So they do a lot of damage right off the rip, right? So I think 25 is the amount that fits in a whole unit. That's what it's telling me. That makes sense. So 50 is the third unit. So we are going to get a unit of archers, because it looks like they do more damage per point than the other one. They're just squishier. So if I was to guess, I would actually say that what we would want is enough meat shields to keep them from being in trouble, and that's all that we need. You know? Let's see how this goes. We'll see if it pans out. Like, the army actually started out being significantly stronger than us as well. So it definitely is not going to be surprising if we don't win anyway. Oh yeah, the cost and leveling it up is actually a little higher. That's okay. I still think we have a solid strategy. I think that the archers will be a bonus, because as you can see, like, their damage is a little higher. Unless I'm being crazy. Oh, maybe I am being crazy. Well, we'll keep a unit of archers anyway. Yeah, they did win. I guess their advantage is they can keep attacking even if they're chasing someone down. Also, they really like yelling. I've noticed that. But this is essentially like a demo length thing, so I don't expect there to be a lot to this bit, but I'm not disliking what I see. I kind of like a little bit of army like maintenance, as long as it doesn't go too far down that rabbit hole. Like, once the time when you have to start like actually putting individual equipment pieces on them is when I know about. We actually haven't gained a level in a little bit. But yeah, they're starting to get a little spicier. This could also be a late bloomer unit too. And there are 2 more mechanics to get by 30 and 100, and I don't know if World is actually an active part of the game. As you can see, you can kind of just let it go and come back to it anytime you want to. So it definitely has some appeal as an idleable game as well. We definitely are able to take on armies a little bigger than us and have some success. And it may also be the case that maybe just taking in just knights would have been better. It doesn't actually give a direct way to check that at this point. But if we do another like start over in that, we could potentially find that out. I believe that the description for it said that it had multiple progression systems, so it is possible there's actually a prestige thing that happens eventually. Like there's several things that get unlocked that we haven't seen yet. But by progressing like this, you'll always be fighting a little bit under power for a while. So it makes sense that they kick your ass regularly, you know? I think I'm gonna try adjusting our troops a little bit. Let's see if this works a little better. Let's see if that gets a little bit better balance on what's going on. Because they basically have to walk a little bit to get into the fray. And this way they kind of turned around and went back, so this kind of worked out for us. But it is pretty fun to just watch the soldiers wander around and get into it. So now we can get another round of dudes. Which way do we want to go? Do we want to try a balanced approach? Let's try balance. Let's see, because I think we can still make it work. Let's get ourselves another unit of this. We're gonna move them after this. Because my instinct is that you want half of your troops to be keeping them busy and the other half to just be whittling them down while they're running around chasing you. So now what I'm considering is you actually want to keep them pretty far from the center for a simple reason that now they have to chase you down to hurt you. You know? That's my theory. Let's see if it works. If this goes horribly, I'll move it. You know? And we also could have leveled up. That might make a difference. But while they're chasing down one group, the other group will be hitting them still. That's my thinking. Maybe they'll do this instead. We did destroy an army bigger than us. Their power is getting significantly stronger than ours. So maybe there is something to this strategy. But this one I think is too much stronger than us. There was a big jump in power. There was we might still technically win. Look at this. There's something to my strategy. They got so busy fighting down there that they just got whittled down. That's crazy. So tactics can play a good part in your progression. But yeah, like I said, I'm curious on whether a full just melee army would have fared overall better. There's different tactics you can take in this. We're definitely not winning this one, I think. Not on the first try. We're 20% behind them. But we did put a bunch into into it this time, so we have a decent chance of making it a little better. Like, that was definitely a little bit more even. Yeah, now I'm starting to think that yes, the archers are probably better for doing damage overall, even though individually their attacks are not stronger. I think they get more attacks off in the overall time. Because, like, we might still technically do okay here, like, if we whittle them down quick enough. Look at that. Yeah, I noticed that the enemies are also getting more numerous as well as that, but they haven't branched out into other types of units themselves, so that could start making a difference. So. Yeah, each of these are probably going to take a few tries before we actually do it. As you can see, it's closer than you would expect from the power scaling it's saying. So just having archers in the mix is helping the situation. Because I want to say our melee is probably analogous to their melee probably in stats. Like, they come down here to fight this one, but they get picked off while they try to get back, so. Nice. And obviously, as we level up, we'll get more unit choices, so there's some cool stuff that could happen with that. But there's still a reason to level up the knights, because they last longer, and they do some damage themselves, but it's really more the fact that they tie up the enemies for a little bit longer that is important. Yeah, they were a little bit too much stronger than us. Like, we're now at a significant deficit of like 20% or more. So we definitely have to level up a couple times to make it through here, but it gets more even than you'd expect, you know. So we get cavalry at this. We almost won that one. But we are getting close to the next unlocks. There's one at 25 that unlocks a new mechanic, it says. And then there's something that unlocks at stage 30 as well. We got a little unlucky in that they sent a squad north, otherwise we probably would have won that one. Like, this one we're gonna win because while they're chewing up this squad, they're getting, like, destroyed from range. We're getting close to another choice over here. So I'm actually like want to start experimenting with a few things because like our army size is bigger, but I've got a couple of thoughts on what we could do about it. We're gonna get some more archers. We're gonna get some more knights. We're gonna keep it even like that. That's basically what we're gonna do. I'll get a couple more archers than knights though. But I'm gonna also restructure our setup. I'm gonna start considering what we can do. Okay, so one of the things they do is they basically hunt down the closest, right? But there is no particular reason for us to make it even as easy as we have been. So, how far back can we put these guys? I'm gonna see if putting them all together is better or not. Let's see. But I want there to be a good distance between the squads, basically. We're also fairly evenly matched, so I think we're going to win this one pretty handily. Okay, we'll let this play with this strategy for a little bit and we'll see. Like, we're probably also going to win this because it's still pretty even from what we've had. This is as big as it goes. What does that border look like? Did it look like a little castle wall? Kind of. So we gained an army reset point. Oh. So we can reset if we want to. That doesn't sound like it gives us a reward though, so I guess we do it if we need to. If we feel like our army just isn't working anymore. No, I think we have a strategy. I think we're okay. I don't think we need to reset. The army is like 25% stronger than us now, so we're definitely not going to be passing this without a little leveling up. The scaling is certainly going up. You know, I kind of suspect having them spread out is probably better, so they have to travel more. So I'm gonna basically work around to that theory now. Yeah, we kind of want to match the energy of these dudes. So now they're kind of all spread out and they can kind of reach towards it at about the same time. That's my thinking. So let's get on in. Let's see how this goes. And now they have to travel to get to the individual archers. So the other ones can still keep hitting them. Or at least they get divided up, you know? Of course, they're still, like, massively stronger than us, so it'll take a little bit for us to break through, but I think it's a strategy. Like, the only thing that's really important is that our archers can attack constantly. That's basically my thinking. If we make it easier for them to walk between them, because they're next to each other, and we're basically making it easier for them to kill us, I think. I don't know if we're gonna win this, but it's close. No, we will. I think we got this. Look at that. Like, there's a whole structures tab we haven't seen. There's also a world one. Still surprisingly even though we're so far behind on the power scaling. So I think I have something with my strategy. I don't know how cavalry reacts in this, so I don't know if I'm going to want to heavily utilize it. Because, like, if it just charges at the opponent, that's probably not too useful. But if it runs around and makes the enemy chase them uselessly, that would be very useful. You know? I mean, ideally, what you want are horse archers that are constantly moving away from the enemy. Like, ideally, these archers would actually back up while firing when the enemies get in range. They would make it harder to be hit. But yeah, we're not winning this one for a few until we level up a little bit. Part of me wonders if, like, an all-archer army would be pretty cool. Although having them slow down is probably the better play. It lets them get wailed on for a while. Yeah, we might actually be close enough to finish this. I think so, actually. I do think that the sounds need to be, like, upped in a full version, because, like, it just sounds like they're screaming, which is funny, but that is kind of what Warfare is like as well, but there's no individual sounds, it sounds like. Just generic screaming. Same. I don't think we're gonna quite win, but it's close. Maybe we will. Nah, not quite. It was very close though, but this time we got this. This shouldn't unlock what's ever at 30 though. Well, I'm not sure if we're gonna win or not yet. It should have been. Well, I guess it depends which way they run, but we might still win. I think it's actually gonna happen. Let's see what happens. So yeah, there's a prestige system. We pop in and see what that gives us. Okay, so you lose all your basic progress after prestige, but you'll gain prestige points that you can spend on powerful upgrades. These upgrades will allow you to reach even further in your next run. Scales with stages and run duration. Alright, that's cool. I don't know like which order of stuff we have to buy stuff in. There's a considerable amount of this prestige tree too, which is actually pretty cool. So I guess the third unit's name is actually Lancer. I mean, I guess this would give us our chance to find out if the different armies work better if you choose all of one or not. Actually, you know what we could do? Okay, so one thing I can do is I can actually use our reset, because if we're gonna prestige, it doesn't matter at all. You know? We can find out how it does. Because right now we're basically 50-50, right? So let's do a reset, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna buy a whole bunch of archers. We're only gonna get 125 because that's all that we just had. What I am gonna do is I'm gonna make this a real nightmare for the enemies. I'm gonna make them have to chase us down in equal parts, so. Okay, let's see how this goes, just to see like how it fares compared to what we just saw. You know, I actually suspect that all archers might just be significantly stronger from this. Because look at what just happened. We changed nothing other than oops all archers, and just spread them out. So I think maybe the answer is oops all archers right now. Okay. Let's get our prestige in. Actually, we might just want to go a little further. Let's go until we get stuck and have to grind a little. The other way this would help us to go to oops all archers is just to basically only have to upgrade one unit type. And I only paused it so we could spread out a little more. But now we've learned that this bar of health is not just predetermined, it's determined by the total health of all your units. But yeah, one of the things that is that we're fighting only infantry, so if we had like other enemies we were fighting, we would want other tactics. But maybe not even. I think that at least archers would be even. I don't think infantry actually is equal to archers, from what I'm seeing. Maybe cavalry is the game changer. Maybe they can get in close quickly. But only if the enemy's using archers. But yeah, the time to prestige will be like when we can't progress. That's my stance on that. So there is another mechanic gotten at level 100, and we get another army unit at 50. Which is apparently a lancer. Yeah, I'm having quite a bit of fun with this. This time we might have made our match. Like, they now have like a 50% stat lead on us. But look at how equal it almost was. Just based on that. One thing I don't know is when I upgrade it, if it takes a whole battle to go into effect, or if it immediately goes up, you know? As soon as I click it, I mean. We'll find out if I win or I don't. I clicked it pretty early into it. I think we're gonna win though, looking at what I see. So I think it goes into effect immediately. I know buying more units doesn't go into effect until the next game. So I thought of a minor, like, redesign a little bit. Main thing is I'm gonna move up some units. Because they end up walking forward and not being able to fire for a while. So I want them all to be able to at least fire right away. Well, maybe not immediately right away, but generally right away, you know? Less walking, more or less. It dilutes the enemy down and makes it so that they get divided a little bit more equally. Oh yeah, we're not winning this one. Yeah, we're over a 50% stat difference. But just the fact that we're able to do it. Like, if it starts taking more than one turn to make the money to get an upgrade, then I will consider it's time to prestige. But so far it's only taken like one game or two games where we lose, and then I can get through. Can hardly call that grinding. This one we might actually win. It's at least pretty close. Maybe not. Look at how far away they had to run. Yeah, actually, maybe. There's a universe where we still win here, because look at them. They're getting whittled down pretty good. There we go. Crazy. And the other thing is that when it comes to prestige, while HP you would think would be important, I really don't think so. I think it's really just attack that you need to care about, unless it's like significantly cheaper, you know? Because the reason why this works is because we're destroying them before they can even attack us, for the most part. Like, half of their number are dead before we lose any of our troops. Yeah, I upgraded that a little late into it, so it's not a fair idea and if we're gonna win this or not on a straight run, so we'll have to play it through and then see. It's still pretty close. That second upgrade will clinch it. Yeah, this whole group's dead before they get even within range, so half of this group will be dead before they get close enough, if not more than that. And look at that. They got a couple notches in at the end on the front of our archers, but that was it. So if we'd done it before, we only would have gotten 7, but we're already up to gaining 43 prestige. Just from waiting a little bit longer. Yeah, next run we'll be able to afford the next upgrade, so maybe that will push us through. Yeah, so definitely consider holding out a little longer if you want a prestige. Especially if you're not really having to fight too hard to get further. There might be better tactics than this. This is just what I thought to try. Like maybe we do want a little tiny scapegoat unit up front to just have them chase after. Yeah, this one was just a little bit too much of a scale up. We need at least another upgrade or so to get through. And we're gonna level up and get a whole nother unit soon, actually. So we're gonna get another unit and pop it in here, so let's consider that. So I'm putting them in the middle. Or maybe I should just stretch it out a little bit more. We're gonna win this so handily with the extra unit. I think that's about equal. Now let's just see how this goes. But the never-ending onslaught, just destroy them as best as we can. Thing is, we end up with 2 wings here. And even if they kill one wing, they have to walk all the way to the other wing. So it's real bad for them. Like, they very technically won on this side, but look at what they have to deal with. Like, this is just a grater. They're getting absolutely destructed. Now, a minor problem with this is in even bigger formations, we're not going to be able to fully, like, surround them in the same way. We'll have to put them on the outside, and my units will walk in, and they'll waste a little time doing it. So, that is a minor downside to it. I guess the way around that is to just keep making the circle bigger, so they have to walk farther to get to any of our units. So not only do we have to get closer, they have to get closer. That's what I came up with in my head. This is going to be a juicy reset when we actually do want to. But like we're still able to progress after like one off game, so like I don't I don't see the advantage to just resetting right now. It hasn't actually slowed down all that much. We might not win either side, actually. It's gonna be pretty close. No, we won on this side. Oh, we're probably gonna actually win this. Because they have to get close to us, and that just isn't gonna happen. Yeah, we're definitely going to get smoked on this particular play of this. Next time we'll be able to get an upgrade a little bit into it, which might not be enough to save that particular one, but you know, it definitely will probably let the one after that squeak by. Like, we got it just now, we'll see what happens. It might squeak by still. bad. See, that was actually pretty close. So it's a tough call on whether this is going to be enough for this particular one, but if it's not, the next upgrade certainly will. Yeah, no, I've really enjoyed this little experience, and I do like the bones of what I see. There's a good amount of interactiveness. Like, you get to strategize where you put your units. You get to strategize on your unit composition. So I didn't have to do oops all archers. I could have done like that half and half I was doing, and that was certainly working. And I do feel like you could make any composition you want to be realized, and you can experiment with tactics. So yeah, this has been the 1 hour mark, and if you enjoyed what you saw, like, I'm gonna link to the actual itch.io page, and it's free to both play in the browser and free to download. And I guess they said that they could move it into a full game if it gets enough interest. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will catch you next time. Take care.